Jurassic World Rebirth has made some interesting choices in the direction of where its story is going, but one standout plot has caught the eye of many viewers, asking the same question: what is the sinister mystery hidden within the movie? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Rebirth video. I hope you've all been enjoying the content here on the channel lately, as we've been covering Rebirth quite a lot, but also made some time to discuss the newly released Funko Fusion, which features an exciting Jurassic World story, as well as the major new information that just released this weekend for Jurassic World Evolution 3. Sometime this week, we're also expecting a brand new trailer for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. So if you're looking for a centralized hub covering all of the major Jurassic content here on YouTube, then look no further, and why not subscribe to help us reach 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Today, we're returning back to Jurassic World Rebirth content and discussing the plot once more. I want to discuss what that sinister mystery is that was teased in the synopsis for Jurassic World Rebirth, as I believe I have a fair few good ideas here written down on paper, so why not share them? But for now, I'm sure that you're all tired of me yapping. Why not sit back, relax, and enjoy your G Fuel after using code SWERVE to save 20%, as it's time to find out that decade-long sinister mystery that's hidden in Jurassic World Rebirth. So whilst we did get the reveal of Jurassic World Rebirth just some weeks ago, we also got a reveal of the entire plotline basically for this new movie. Whether or not it actually spoils a lot of the movie, we have to wait and see. However, there is one segment within this massive plot that caught the eye of many people. This is within, I believe, the third paragraph describing Jurassic World Rebirth, when Zora's operation intersects with a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized by marauding aquatic dinosaurs. They all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. That's right. What a weird sentence to say, and it's quite a good sentence because it's thrown out many theories out there from fans and content creators alike, wondering what this sinister, shocking discovery exactly is, and it's been hidden from the world for decades. Now of course, I'm not going to go crazy about this, but let's just say, how long ago was Jurassic Park 3? Decades ago. It is officially 23 years old since Jurassic Park 3 released, and that movie, man, if you understand the lore of Jurassic Park 3 has the most interesting and depth of lore in the whole entire franchise. Minus Jurassic World Dominion, of course. There is so much going on with Jurassic Park 3 that we know, don't know, and have to try and fill in the gaps for ourselves. So initially seeing that this discovery has been hidden from the world for decades, I want to go back to the early noughties, maybe late 90s. But they also say that they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery. Now face to face, you're gonna come face to face as it quite literally says. But interesting. You wouldn't really say you come face to face with a wall all that often, especially when it's a shocking discovery. So when they say face to face, I believe it's something to do with a creature of some kind. Sure, there are going to be some people out there who are going to argue the fact that you can come face to face with a wall, yada yada yada, but for me, an inanimate object doesn't really make too much sense to say that they come face to face with this sinister discovery. Because when you come face to face with something, it's usually within action. So if you're coming face to face with a desk, there's not much action going on. This is a world full of dinosaurs, this is a world full of genetic experiments. Coming face to face with something like this, it's going to be one of those two. So that's what I want to talk about mainly in today's video. What is my first theory, however? We have Project Regenesis. Now, if you guys aren't aware of what Project Regenesis essentially is, it's a project that was designed by Biosyn in the late 1990s and actually was behind the creation of the Spinosaurus. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth with it just now because there's a lot more lore to it, but on the Dino Tracker website that released alongside Jurassic World Dominion, we got lots of new information regarding Project Regenesis, And essentially, Biosyn workers infiltrated the InGen compound on Isla Sorna and helped Dr. Henry Wu create the Spinosaurus, which as we know is not a fully accurate Spinosaurus, merely because it's an amalgamation. Not quite a hybrid as some people like to say, it's instead an amalgamation. A hybrid is when you take two species and fuse them together. Amalgamation is when you build one species as a main species and then fill in the gaps with other little DNA sequences. It's not exactly like that, but it's pretty much like that. So it's not quite on the hybrid level. So that's why people are trying to use the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 as a non-accurate, paleo-accurate creature look. Which is completely fine, to be fair, I completely understand that, but the Spinosaurus design is what I fell in love with. Now of course, the amalgamations, there were a few more dinosaurs that weren't on InGen's list that were also part of the amalgamations. Corythosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Ankylosaurus, and I also believe Pteranodon was part of that as well. There may be give or take a few more dinosaurs in that list, but essentially the amalgamations that went on during Project Regenesis in 1999, 2000, and I think stopped in 2001, essentially is a hidden mystery. These documents went up as a leaked file on the Dino Tracker website, therefore it is very safe to say that there is a possibility here that Project Regenesis and the amalgamations within this project could be what Zora and her team come across as face to face with a sinister shocking discovery, because this shows that loads more creatures and big dinosaurs were made behind the scenes that nobody knew about, and somehow Alan Grant decided not to talk about them. Now of course, this theory, it's got its problems. It's still a good theory, but it's got its problems, and we have to recognize that. It's not the strongest theory that we can come up with. But who do we think is going to be involved with this shocking, sinister discovery? Well, we know that they are going to an island. We're not too sure what island. We don't suspect it'll be anything of the 5 deaths, since we do know that it is taking place partly in Suriname. But what we can see in the background of one of the official images that released for Jurassic World Rebirth is the InGen logo. Now, InGen is the company that essentially started up Jurassic Park, was a backup company with Jurassic World, and they've been at the forefront of creating dinosaurs and experimenting for a long time. So we do know that InGen is probably going to be involved within this sinister, shocking discovery to some extent. Now, I'm sure that the company has gone bust and went under, especially after the events of Jurassic World, but we don't really know too much or learn too much about them post Jurassic World era. So it's interesting that they've kind of just gone silent. So for me personally, if we were to think about the big companies in this franchise, who's created stuff decades ago, it's obviously InGen. Biosyn, sure, they were there, but they weren't as big as InGen to cause something like this. And we just recently had Biosyn in Jurassic World Dominion. So with the original scriptwriter of Jurassic Park writing up this movie as well, I highly suspect that InGen, in some way, will in fact be at the forefront of this sinister mystery. But what is this secret setup that they're doing with InGen and this mystery? Well, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, you've known this for quite some time. We've had a movie called Jurassic Park 4, the John Sayles script. And I already know there are some people shuddering out there with merely just me saying those words. And that's because this script contained human-dinosaur hybrids. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right. Dinosaur-human hybrids where the DNA was fused. This was actual concept art that was going to appear for the movie of Jurassic Park 4. Jurassic Park 4 almost went ahead with this as well, with many people finding the script quite interesting. Now, thankfully, we never got anything of the sort. Although I wouldn't be opposed to seeing something, just maybe not canonical, of this kind. But is there a way that they can rehash this in Jurassic World Rebirth? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think there is. So as we know, the human-dinosaur hybrid concept is hated by fans. I'm pretty sure that at least 90% of this fanbase completely do not want human-dinosaur hybrids. However, if you logically talk to somebody, they will say, it's an interesting idea, we just don't want to see it. Now, there are a lot of fans out there, myself included, who would like to see something like this. However, as I said, not canonical, as its own kind of movie, its own universe. Kind of like a what if show from Marvel. But we do know that InGen did some very shady stuff behind the scenes, and we do know that they were experimenting a lot more than we initially thought. We got this via the leaked documents from Biosyn, who were spying on InGen in the early noughties and the late 90s. So, who's to say that they arrive on this island, they discovered that there's a lot of InGen logos hidden within the overgrowth, and then they come across a lab quite similar to what we saw in Jurassic Park 3, and there, in that lab, are mixtures of failed experiments of human-dinosaur hybrids. And then this will bring in the ethics of the Jurassic franchise, and it will get these people realizing that InGen experimented on human people. This isn't good, and they try to out InGen throughout the movie, and then it becomes more of a very interesting movie rather than dinosaurs, dinosaurs, dinosaurs. One that you have to think and be a part of. Now for me, I feel like this is probably the best way to go about it, because we kind of get to see the human-dinosaur hybrid concept that we almost got for Jurassic Park 4, but it's not at the full front of this franchise whatsoever. It's merely just, look, this happened, but we're never going to show you that it happened. And that is really interesting and very smart writing indeed. That way you please both fans and audiences alike, and I think that's a great way to go about dealing with the human-dinosaur hybrids in the franchise. Now there are going to be some people out there who aren't going to want to see that, that's fair enough, each to their own, but I believe this is a very smart thing to do by David Koepp, and if this is true, I'm very interested in it. Now as for anything else, I can't really think of anything that would top a human-dinosaur hybrid by InGen. All of that makes a lot of sense, and in theory is probably the strongest theory that we have for what this sinister discovery might be in the Jurassic franchise. So there we have it. This sinister discovery, hidden from the world for decades, could quite literally be anything. But if we were to assume that they're going down the reusing of old unused content from this franchise, I believe that is going to be something about the human-dinosaur hybrids. Don't worry, I don't think that they'll appear alive, but merely just showing up as failed experiments in their test tubes. Very crazy to think about, but very interesting. Either way, whatever it might be, it will be something very interesting to explore in this franchise without going head on with the actual showing of dinosaur human hybrids, of course. If you agree, or there's anything else you had in mind, why not head down to the comments and let me know. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you, did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.